What's up, people? It's your man Urban Lover coming from your mama's basement, baby. You know what it is. You know what it's about. You know what I come to bring. I come to bring that smooth, smooth butter. I come to bring that fish straight from your mother's gutter. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want to get right into it. I want to talk about your Superman lover. Yeah. Not the original Superman, because the original Superman, you know who he was. He had on the purple and gold, and couldn't nobody stop him when he was in that paint. So I'm talking about his wannabe son. No other than Dwight Howard. And with that being said, you know, like I said before, I'm going to get right into it. This is from CBS Sports, and this is the Free Agents series. So with that being said, let's get right to the Analyst. And this is what they got to say. Okay, yes, he's a clown sometimes, and yes, he's emotional, and yes, injury have taken away much of his strength and athleticism. And yes, he's awful in any post-up situation. But Dwight Howard remains a force. He's a smart defender who can mask a team defense deficiencies. Just not if all your players are defensive weaknesses, like the Rockets. If he can get healthy, he can still be a lethal in pick and roll situations. Hard worker who keeps himself in an incredible shape and doesn't get enough credit for it. Has taken responsibility for his shortcomings and still wants to compete. Has to be in the right situation. His plans to try and play until he's 40, but at the age 30 is slowing down. Much his value depends on his price. If he's willing to take a cut, he could be preferable to Whiteside. If he's pursuing a max deal, he's wound up somewhere in the 30s. Howard can still be a good NBA player in the right situation. So with that being said, you got Orlando, Brooklyn, Dallas, Charlotte. And let's throw Houston in there. All right, we're going to jump right into Orlando. Now, the saying was, this is during the regular season, where they said that Orlando and, there was a rumor that Orlando and Dwight Howard are interested of, playing for one another. Well, Dwight going back to Orlando. But Orlando said the only way they would take Dwight Howard back if he takes a 1 year and a little bit of pay. So that was out there. That's not going to happen. You got to think about the man's 30. He's on his, not saying on his last leg, but this last contract has got to be his best contract. So Orlando's out the bud. He's not going to Orlando unless Orlando pay him 25 or more million. Brooklyn, I count that out. They got Brook Lopez. Unless Houston do a sign and trade deal. I mean, like he has a player option where he can opt out. Before the before the 30th? I think before the 30th. He has an option to opt out before the 30th. They can actually go ahead and trade him, for Brook Lopez. However they want to do it. That's the only way I can see that happening. Brooklyn got too much money tied up. They made some bad moves over the past couple years, so I throw them out of it. Now Dallas, that's an option. I can see him going to Dallas. Now, do Dallas have the money to pay him? I don't think so. But it would be nice to see him and Dirk Nowitzki up there because, like I said in my previous video about Dirk Nowitzki, that he's on the decline. I mean, he's used to back in the days when he was younger. He used to give you 20-something points, 10 plus boards. Now he's barely making 7 boards, you know what I mean? So he's a power forward. He barely gets to, he barely plays around the rim anymore. He takes more jump shots than hit the rim. So with that being said, they definitely need an inside forward. So with Dirk Nowitzki drawing double teams and all that, Dwight Howard would fix that thing. But Jason Terry came out and said, Dwight Howard would fit that Dallas, but the only problem is he ready for Rick Carlisle's system? Rick Carlisle's system doesn't give the center an option. You know what I mean? The center is like, the utility man. The way his option ran, it doesn't even include a center. And that's what Jason Terry was talking about that. So I don't know if he'll go there because one thing Dwight Howard wants to do, he wants to go to a team that's going to basically utilize his skill set. Now, Houston did pick up Mike D'Antoni. Now, the relationship with Mike D'Antoni and Dwight Howard was kind of rocky back with LA. So I don't know how that might pan out. But his GM basically stated that the door is still open for Dwight Howard. They'd love to have him. If he decide not to opt out, they'll keep him. And I'm gonna read some of this article, and this is coming from Sports Rages. And with that being said, this is what they have to say. So the Houston Rockets are determined to be a strong contender next season, and this summer will be interesting one for the team. Rumors are swirling that Dwight Howard may resign with the team, and according to General Manager Daryl Morey, now remember, this is the same GM that Dwight Howard went to and said, listen, man, I want to be more utilized in offense. And he said no, because you're not an option in the offense. This will make Dwight Howard think about if he wanted to stay or not. So with that being said, I'm going to get back to it. They are ready for any situation that will play out in a couple of weeks leading to the free agency season. Morey appeared with their Jason Terry, who also is going to be a free agent this summer, in Sirius XM NBA Radio, and explained that the Rockets have already in place a contingency plan if ever Howard would either re-sign or opt out, using his player option to be available for free agency. He added that the Rockets are committed to building the team around its ace player, James Harden. And this is what he had to say. We are ready to go at a star level player, whether it be Dwight opting back in, and he's still got a lot of great basketball in him. And if he chooses to come back, we have already shown that combination. Howard and Harden could win 56 and make the Western Conference Final. But if he chooses to opt out and we could not bring him back through free agency, we are already ready to pursue that star level player we have in mind, Morey said. That star they talking about is Kevin Durant. Now, with that being said, is Kevin Durant going to go to Houston? I don't think so. I mean, why would I go to Houston and I'm getting a guard? I'm leaving one guard to go with another guard. The only difference about these two guards is, number one, Westbrook is more into the game, compared to James Harden. James Harden, everybody know he's lackadaisical when it comes to defense. He just looked to score. He doesn't do too much passing, and he holds the ball too freaking long. So I don't think. I know him and KD are good friends, but so is him and Westbrook. And like I said, I see KD, sign a 1-year deal with OKC to give him one more time because they came so close to beating Golden State. And now if Cleveland beat Golden State in this final, I definitely know KD gonna resign back with OKC. But with that being said, they said that they believe that he's gonna resign, that he's not gonna opt out. He's gonna resign or whatever. If he does opt out, he can resign and still get a good amount of money. If he stays in, however he chooses to do it, he's going to make these 23 or more next year with Houston. Now, another team they also said, like I said, is Charlotte. Now, remember, Al Jefferson, I don't think Charlotte's going to resign Al Jefferson. He don't fit Charlotte's scheme. And I'm going to get to him when I get around to them. But I don't know if he goes to Charlotte. I mean, I think they only got, what, Walker, a big contract. They don't really have too many players on big contracts. So I don't know, but I don't see him going to Charlotte. I don't see him going to Charlotte. Now, will he resign with Houston? It all depends, man. It depends if he sit down with Mike D'Antoni and they discuss, how they're going to utilize him. If Mike D'Antoni tell him that, listen, we're going to use you like how we did Amir Stoudemire in the pick and roll with him and Steve Nash, then he probably would stay, because you remember Mike D'Antoni did use Amir Stoudemire in a lot of pick and rolls, and that's what Dwight Howard's pretty good at, the pick and roll. He's not good at post-up plays. He's good at pick and rolls. So the whole thing is that they got to get James Harden to commit to be more of a not just a scorer, but also be a passer if he's going to play point. But they might have Beverly playing points. I don't know. I mean, James Harden got to he got to stop holding that ball for 15, 18 seconds, man. I mean, he take up too much of the shot clock. So I don't know. With that being said, will he go back to Houston? But from scale 1 to 10, I give it a 7, man. I'm not too sure about it. I think that he might try to see what's out there. I mean, Miami was looking at him, as an option if Whiteside don't sign. But like I said, he's 30 years old, man. He's past his prime. He's looking for a big contract. He's not going to take something small, because this is it for him. He got to take a big contract, and I mean, he might stay with Houston if Mike D'Antoni and the GM sell him, because they thinking they want KD, but they're not getting KD. If they sell him, then he might stay. I don't really, I don't really see too many players wanting to play with James Harden. I don't know, man. I mean, it depends. I'm not going to knock James Harden. But I still think James Harden is still good on offense. He just got to work more on his defense. But he might stay with Houston, man. I mean, him going to Dallas from a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 5. I already told him I don't think he's going to Brooklyn. I don't know too much about Charlotte. I don't really see him going to New York because they got Lopez there. Boston could make a move to get him, though. Boston, like I said, they trying to get anybody. But I don't know. I mean, I can see him going to Boston, but like I said, he's 30 years old, and I'm thinking, like, I hate to say this because I don't know, but man, I mean, like I said, I don't know how the relationship with him and D'Antoni is, because I got him like leaving Houston. Seriously, I really got him leaving Houston. I think he's going to opt out. I think he's going to opt out right after the finals. I think he might say, to see what's else out there. You know what I mean? I think somebody will give him 25 mil. You know what I mean? I just hope it ain't the Lakers, man. I don't want to see him come back. I mean, I made a video about, how will Laker fans feel if Dwight Howard come back. If we don't get Whiteside, I don't, I don't want him. I didn't want him when he first came, and don't want him now. Sorry. So if Houston get him back, that's good for them, because I don't really see him really picking up anybody else. But if Houston doesn't get him and they go after KD, I don't think they're gonna get KD. I mean, they might can try to get Parsons back, but that's an option too. But I mean, I don't know. He might go back to Dwight. I mean, sorry, he might go back to Houston, guys. But him going somewhere else from a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 6. And like I said, him going to Dallas, I gave it a 5. Him going back to Houston, I give it between a 7 and 8. And that all depends on him, Mike D'Antoni sitting down and the GM sitting down and discussing what is his role. If they tell him that he's going to be more utilized in the offense, 9 times out of 10, Dwight Howard staying. So with that being said, it's your man Urban Lover. Y'all have a blessed day. Get in the comment section. Y'all let me know and what y'all think where Dwight Howard's going to go. This is what I'm thinking. This is my options. It doesn't stick. It's not guaranteed. Remember, they're all rumors, speculations, and just opinions. So with that being said, guys, get in the comment section and let me hear what you got to say. It's your man Urban Lover. Y'all be safe out there. I'm out.